We've had some fairly thick clouds here in eastern KELOLAND. Nothing coming out of those clouds, but it has also been a cool day. Temperatures well below normal for this time of year. Now, the clouds should dissipate tonight, but with a light south breeze, it's not going to be as cold as it was last night. Low 13 Sioux Falls, 9 Aberdeen, 14 Pier, 26 in Rapid City. Tomorrow, mostly sunny for your Friday and just a very gentle breeze. We're going to start to warm things back up. 41 in Sioux Falls. That's above normal by about 5 degrees. Aberdeen 39, 47 Pier, 54 degrees in Rapid City, and even warmer on Saturday. In fact, a very mild weekend on the way. We'll talk about that in just a bit. KELOLAND News starts now.
Live from KELOLAND Media Group. KELOLAND News first at 4.
Coming up, we take a look at the budget forecast for Minnesota.
Plus, 9 people were taken to the hospital after a crash in South Carolina. Details coming up.
And how crews in western New York are clearing the roads of more snow. Good afternoon, and thanks for tuning in to First at 4. I'm Tom Hansen.
And I'm Kelly Volk. 3 men face federal charges in connection with a Todd County homicide we first told you about in October. Frank and Jesse White Thunder are accused of robbing Andrew Two Eagle on October 22nd and stealing 2 imitation pistols. Frank White Thunder is accused of stabbing and killing Two Eagle, so he's also charged with second-degree murder.
Michael Ledercharge is also accused in the case. He's accused of helping the White Thunder so they wouldn't be arrested.
A Renner man is facing 2 counts of rape charges and 1 count of sexual contact with a child under the age of 16. The Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office arrested 44-year-old Edgar Messenger after interviews with 2 victims. The Minnehaha County Sheriff's Office says the 2 victims of Messenger were related and that the crimes happened to one of the children 13 years ago. Messenger was a family friend at the time of contact with the children. KELOLAND's Jordan DeSmet is taking a look at the court documents and will bring you his report tonight at 6.
Rapid City Police Department and Pennington County Sheriff's Office are joining together to bring back the Retail Theft Task Force. This busy holiday shopping season, the task force is gearing up for a series of undercover operations to stop shoplifting. The weeks before Christmas are, of course, the busiest retail shopping period of the year. The Retail Theft Task Force was formed in December of 2023 in response to an increase in retail theft.
Relations between the state and the 9 reservations in South Dakota are at their lowest point in decades. It started earlier this year when Governor Kristi Noem claimed South American drug cartels were operating on the reservations and at tribal schools. Tribal leaders called the claims false and disrespectful. As Noem prepares to leave South Dakota to work in the Trump administration, lawmakers in Pierre are hoping the relationship between the state and the tribes can be improved.
I really don't know how to do that other than to really prioritize communication and how we can work together. We need to work together. Not many people in our big rural state. We can do better.
We will take a closer look at the situation and hear from a state lawmaker from Rosebud. That's coming up on KELOLAND News at 6. Well, it is a cold one out there today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to any kind of warm-up we can get, Jay.
Oh, what do you have?
No problem. I aim to please. How's that? Yeah, mostly sunny skies for your day tomorrow. We're going to start to warm things back up ahead of what's going to be an unusually warm December weekend. In the meantime, we're still dealing with a cold. Sioux Falls, our temperature just dropped 1 degree from 19 back to 18. We do have some fairly thick clouds out there. Nothing coming out of those clouds. There's a south breeze at 8 miles per hour. Up in Aberdeen, we also have some thicker clouds. 16 degrees there with the south wind at 10. Out to the west. Well, not the west, to the south. Watertown, 14 degrees right now with a south breeze at 8 miles an hour. Out to the west, we have sunshine. There's Pierre, 25 degrees, south wind at 10. And in Rapid City, sunshine there, 44 degrees. Just a 3-mile-per-hour breeze. There are the temperatures. It's again coldest in the east, but it's warm in western South Dakota, and that warmth is a-coming this way. We haven't had much of the way of winds during the day today. Certainly nothing like those fierce wind gusts of yesterday. And so for tonight, with just a gentle south breeze, our low 13 in Sioux Falls, 9 Aberdeen, 14 in Pierre, 26 in Rapid City. And for your day tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, 41 in Sioux Falls, Falls, 39 in Aberdeen, 47 up here, 54 degrees in Rapid City. And by the time we get to Saturday, even Sioux Falls and eastern KELOLAND, we're going to be looking at temperatures around 50 degrees. More on that weekend forecast in detail in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Jay. At least one South Dakota county and possibly others this fall did not comply with the state law on absentee voting. Now, state law sets a 46-day period for absentee voting. A South Dakota Board of Elections member says that he went to vote on Friday, September 30th, but the Pennington County Auditor's Office was closed. He brought the situation to the attention of other state election board members, including South Dakota Secretary of State Monet Johnson, during a meeting yesterday. Capitol News Bureau reporter Bob Mercer has a closer look at the meeting with this story on our website.
State budget forecasters in Minnesota project extra money on the state's bottom line in the next 2 years, but there are warning signs of a potential big deficit in the future. For the next 2-year budget, officials say there will be a $616 million surplus. That will be short-lived, though, if lawmakers don't rein in spending. Caroline Cummings with our CBS affiliate in Minneapolis reports.
As Minnesota battled bitter cold air outside on Wednesday, state officials presented a budget forecast that wasn't bright.
Minnesota is facing some significant economic and financial headwinds.
This picture of the state's finances helps lawmakers craft the next 2-year budget.
For next budget cycle, there is that projected surplus, but spending still exceeds revenues. Lawmakers will have to get a handle on that in order to stave off a deficit in those future years.
That projected deficit is more than $5 billion. It's why budget officials say lawmakers should proceed with caution. Special education and services for people with disabilities are the biggest drivers of the spending increases.
Spending decisions that are made this legislative session will have impacts on the planning years, and we are anticipating some challenges in those years.
DFL leaders who have been in charge of state government the last 2 years tempered some concerns about the state's future finances, vowing a balanced budget and bipartisan work this year.
Minnesotans' lives are better, and we are better prepared together to weather what we are going to experience in the next 2 years.
But Republicans blamed what they called a spending spree by Democrats for putting the state's budget on the brink.
The results that we saw with this budget forecast that came out today is exactly what House Republicans have been warning for the last 2 years would be the case.
In St. Paul, Caroline Cummings, WCCO News.
Lawmakers return for the 2025 session in January. They must pass a budget before it ends.